Well, I am surrounded by pillows. Welcome to Messy Moments Included. We're your host,
Mac.
and Abby. And today we come to you from Mac's living room.
For only a little while longer, because I'm the one moving soon.
Yeah, I moved this last weekend. Mac helped. I'm still drained. This morning I woke up and I went right back to sleep for another 4 hours.
Yeah.
And
I also worked late last night. I didn't get home till the a.m. So
our energies are a little bit low, but our spirits are high.
yes,
We're making it work.
Yes.
Today we are going to talk about, are we really happy or are we going through the motions of everyday life?
Are we just distracted by day-to-day?
Yes, I think Darby's just distracted by day-to-day. She looks like she's having
My
a good
dog,
one.
she honestly enjoys my rent more than anyone else ever would. So, yes, she's definitely living her days intentionally.
She definitely is. But we'll go ahead and get started with prayer. I will lead in prayer today. Without further ado, let's go before our Father. Dear God, thank you so much for this day, for Mac and I's friendship, for allowing us another day to breathe and wake up. God, I pray over both of our lives, over the lives of the people that are listening to us. God, that you use us as a vessel to speak whatever you have through us. God, I pray for them in the walks of life that they're in. And God, that you help us stay in obedience with you. And in your name we pray, and thank you for the opportunities that you have coming our way. Amen.
Amen. And also, just a quick side note, we did take a bit of a hiatus because life happens, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that might happen here and there, but hopefully we'll be pretty consistent for the time.
I think
foreseeable future.
For the foreseeable future, we will be consistent.
Yes.
Like I said, our energies are low, but our spirits are high. We're trekking through it.
We are trekking through it. And so basically, do you want to open up the topic?
Sure. I think that I don't even really know how to start this, but I think that a lot of the times we get distracted with day-to-day life and we kind of go into almost like a robot mode where it's like, get up, go to work, go to sleep, do it all over again and try to get through to Friday. And we're not really living intentionally. I know that I get I'm at fault for that too, because I know that there's some weeks where I'm like, oh, I really want to do all this stuff, but then I get to Friday or I get through the day and I'm like, oh, I just really want to go to bed. So are we allowing life to happen to us, or are we intentionally going out and living our life?
Yeah, and I think kind of to tie back to with like the last episode we did post talking about like how hard it is to feel like we have a choice in like the jobs we have. I think it comes down to being like the same thing sometimes, of like feeling like, well, I have to work and I have to do these things, like these things aren't going to change. And I think because of that routine just becomes so monotonous and it becomes something we habitually do. And it is hard to live life, and I think sometimes we consider that to be a happy, satisfied life, but the reality is that I think we oftentimes, as people, especially like in this day and age, what we have to do to like keep up, I think like, the time weekend comes, it's like, oh yeah, I want to be intentional for Saturday, Sunday, because I can do that. I have enough energy for that.
Yeah.
But are we doing that for ourselves too during the week?
Yeah. Are we intentionally going out of our way and making the life that we want for ourselves, not just the life that is kind of happening to us, for lack of better words? I think that we all want more for ourselves, and sometimes we go out of our comfort zone to do, because I know I'm guilty of this, where I'm like, oh, I really want to go do a pottery class, and then day of comes. If I don't have something scheduled, I probably won't go to it. Like if I haven't already made a reservation and made solid plans, like I will probably find a way to talk myself out of it day come. Or if I haven't committed with like somebody else to go and do it, knowing myself, I will.
Yeah, like I'll bow out.
I'm like, oh no, I could watch TV today. But are you really like, living a life that you'll be happy that you lived when you look back on your life.
And like for you, what do you notice the most, like when that's happening, like with feeling distracted by things and then realizing like maybe you're not actually happy with this outcome sometimes?
I think for me, like right now I feel very content with my life and where I'm at right now, but I think in the past I've felt guilty because, for one, I have a lot of emotions going on and I almost feel like I can't do, like I'm in the way of myself. Like I can't get past myself, if that makes sense. And so then I feel guilty, and then I feel like, well, I'm being a Debbie Downer, or I'm not being grateful enough for the things that I do have because I prayed for this and now I'm not living it to its fullest extent. And so I think there's two sides to that. It's like a double-edged sword where you need to give yourself grace too, because it's okay to take a break. It's okay to not like go out and do something every single day, but I think that it's important to give it to yourself to like go out of your way and make yourself uncomfortable sometimes and step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, because sometimes like you don't know, like at least for myself, I think like oftentimes I can get in such a habit of my day-to-day life, but then like yeah, it's like the only time my thoughts truly surface, I feel like, or break through is like my weekend, right? When I'm off and I have enough rest in me to really think about things. Because during the week, it's like work, 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 get home, take care of my dog, go to sleep. Like it's just a repeat over and over and over. And, you know, it's like I can finally catch up by the time. Are you okay?
Yeah, I have a burp. And then Darby's kicking me. She's having time.
She's
rubbing
a
her belly
very
with my
cute,
foot.
short and stout little dog. But she's so ridiculous, guys.
She is having the time of her life.
Um,
We're playing footsies. I've never seen her do this.
I haven't either.
Look at her.
I know.
I wish you guys could see this. Ooh. Okay.
She sneezed. It's okay.
She literally had her
boy.
feet up on my foot.
She might.
She
make
was
an
on her back.
appearance. We don't know. But yeah, so like sometimes like I feel for myself, I realize like randomly that I'm not really actually happy with my like results of what I'm doing, as much as it is just feeling like I genuinely am just distracted by survival.
Yeah, and I think that that's like I do think that there are seasons where it's going to feel like that. I don't think it's always going to be that way though. I think this is just like one of those seasons where it's kind of like a do what you need to get through it.
And what do you feel like with that? Like, what do you feel like when stuff like that happens? Like, how do you, when those seasons are really long, how do you like work out of that?
Like when the seasons
Of like just like knowing,
surviving.
Yeah, just like putting your head down and doing your job and like getting through the day and then doing it on repeat, but not feeling like you're happy and intentional in your life. Like, how do you muster through that?
I think for me, we've talked about this before, where the last job that I had, it was very much that for like the 2 years that I had it, or going on 2 years, where it was just like I really don't like my life. I don't like the person that I'm becoming. Like I feel like I'm, at that point, I felt like I was becoming my characteristics were becoming that of somebody that I would not want to be or hang out with. And I think for me, during that season of just kind of living life or letting life live me.
Run me over like a freaking mat.
I think I went through a lot, like, spiritually. Towards the end of it, I had to turn to the Lord. It wasn't a question of, like, wanting to. I mean, I wanted to, but it was more of a, like, okay, I can't do this on my own anymore. And I know that we've talked about that, so I don't want to, like, beat a dead horse, but, like, I do think that intentionally, like, I think that God let me go through that so that he could get me closer to him, and so that I could turn my focus and put my control away and give it to him. I think that my friends helped me out a lot. I don't think I would have been able to survive had I not had you, or, like, some of the other girls that were in my life that helped me like keep myself distracted in a sense, to where it was like, okay, I know that this isn't going to be forever. This is just a season. I just need to figure out a way to get out of this. And then I lost my job, and
and you got out of it.
I got out of it. And I think as unfortunate as that was, or as unfortunate as it is to lose a job, I think it was a blessing, because I think that I found myself again. I think that I am finally getting back to like the Abby that I used to be.
And I definitely think like too that kind of ties into like you, like how we were having a conversation earlier today when we were just in the car like running errands, of like you were saying, like you and I were talking about how like I just could see how much more at peace you are and like how content you are again. And it's so nice to see that side of you, because it's like you were like, you could just visibly see the survival mode, you know, like, and it's like we all go through it, and we all have seasons where we're literally just trying to get done with whatever the to-do list is, or whatever we have to do. And sometimes I think that is the most draining part, though, when you're constantly on empty. You have no gas to give, but yet you're still expected to make it.
Yeah, because I'll tell you this, like, whenever I was in that job, like, I did not want to get out of bed ever. Like, I wanted to stay in bed. Like, my bed was my my thing. It was like,
you definitely napped a lot more too when you had that job.
I did. And I think that, you know, when you're in an environment where it's not healthy, I do think, and I know that we've talked about this, I do think that it triggered my autoimmune disease. To give a little bit of context right now, as of a month ago, maybe a little bit over a month, I haven't gone to the doctor this time.
Yeah, maybe a little over a month.
But my hormones and everything are under control. And so I still, even though today, like this week has just been a lot, it's been a lot because I've been moving.
It's been physically a lot.
Yeah, and so I think I'm recovering from it, but I still feel like I have a lot more energy than I had working and being on medication and being...
and just trying to survive.
But I knew that that wasn't going to be forever. I knew that there was seasons that were coming I knew that that was a pruning season. And I remember telling you that I could feel that it was a pruning season. And I didn't know what was coming, but I knew that it would be better.
But now you're like, it's like you're harvesting that form of like contentment and happiness and peace.
Yeah.
And it's literally visible. Like, it's a physical change as well, not just an emotional change. And I think when it starts emotional and then it becomes physical, that can really like enlighten, you know, yourself. And yeah, like I definitely agree. Like I think like when you're under so much stress, like God bless all of you guys that have varying challenges, or maybe the job you have is really extenuous. Yeah. Because genuinely, like, it is tough. Like, I feel like being an adult in this day and age, or even a kid, honestly, with the exposure that they're given, I think it is so tough to find yourself, be who you are, who you've been called to be, and be happy. Like, I think we're constantly in an upward battle, and I'm not saying that the past wasn't like that, because I think there's been a fair share of like battles and struggles that people have faced tremendously. But I think now it's so much more financial, and I think we often look at a financial situation as a root of happiness, and then on top of that, your environment, because like right now, like I'm grateful that I have an amazing work environment. Like, I genuinely, my boss is amazing, and I couldn't ask for a better team to work with. And while I make less at this job than I could somewhere else, like, I've stayed because, like, my work-life balance is good. My boss is literally, like, so great about being like, Mac, like, if you need time, just take it. Just let me know, though, so that we can figure out how to take care of things, whatever that may be.
Yeah, and that's really important. I think that when we talk about like letting life happen to you versus are you living your life, one of the beautiful things about it is that while yes, the job market does suck right now,
Lord,
and I'm not taking away from that. Like I was in that situation where like had I not gotten fired, I'd probably still be at that job and looking. you do have the option to choose. You can choose to continue looking for a job, or you can choose to change your situation. Now, that being said, it's not always easy to make that decision for yourself.
It does come down to like a form of discipline, I do think. It's no different than like when people are telling you, you know, like you're always wanting to set new habits, but then you're like, but I'm so exhausted. I really don't have time for like the gym, or I don't have time for my quiet time with the Lord. Whatever those specific things are that you find in your life that somehow magically you always end up being like, it's just the time ran out. Like it's literally like you're watching little, what do you call those things? Like the sand. You're just watching the sand run on your time.
Yeah.
Like on your time, and you're just like, I can't keep up. And some of that really is because like we are so busy as people, and that we do get caught up in that habit. I apologize. That was my mother texting me. But then the other side of that is also because like we as people fall out of discipline very easily. And I think like I say that as somebody who myself falls out. Hey, hush. There's Darby. She's making her appearance now. But I do say that as somebody that falls out of discipline myself. And that's hard. Like that's not something I'm trying to say lightly.
I think it's really easy though to go back to habits that are comfortable, even if they are toxic or they're not the best for you. And I think that I agree with what you said. Discipline is like a really big thing, and you have, yeah. But I lost my train of thought. How do you stay disciplined?
Oh, that's actually a really good question.
How do you keep yourself accountable? Oh, I see lightning.
Oh, do you?
I saw something.
We're expecting some not great weather here, so
Tornado season.
Eep eep. But you know, like I think for me, like when it comes down to discipline, it comes down to a lot of things. It comes down to, is this beneficial for my health? Is this good for my longevity? What does it look like right now? I have a corgi. They're known for chuffing, so if you're picking up on that, I apologize. But
she could come make an appearance.
I know she doesn't want to. She just wants to yap away. But anyhow, I think like when it comes down to discipline, for me, how I continue to choose that is by weighing out like, while I enjoy stuff like this, can I enjoy it right now and it won't hurt me in the future? Or can I, like for instance, like eating. Like that's an easy one for me. I love to eat, right? And I have been on like a health journey for the last year in losing weight. And I've had to be disciplined in choosing to take things out of my diet so that way I stay on track. And I'm considering right now like very heavily like, well, I want my long-term life to look good. And even though it's a day-to-day decision for me, it doesn't mean that I don't get a Dr. Pepper because I want a Dr. Pepper. Like, I'm still choosing to live my life and enjoy certain things that I have, right? Like, this is just like one fixation that I can think of that a lot of people struggle with discipline in, is their food habits.
Yeah.
And so one day here and there, if I'm like, I really just want this, then I'm going to allow myself to have that, because that keeps me from going on this binging episode of just like anything I can get that's not great for me, I'm going to eat it.
Yeah.
And instead it's like, oh, I'm so glad I had that pop. Now I'm chilling. You know, like it's like you just needed to satiate something, and it's not, while it's not the best for me, I'm not going on this full binge of just like hurting myself.
Yeah.
And I think like that can apply to so many different things when you're looking at discipline in your life, whether that's time management or the choices of activities you choose to do in and outside of work. Like how I choose to manage my time when I get off. Am I using that time to rest, but then also to keep up with the habits I have to have so that way my week goes smoother? Or am I using that time to just like literally stay afloat? Like I thrive when I'm very managed in my time, and I don't have control of everything. Things change every week.
Yeah.
But in that like I think I thrive the most when I have a general idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like on Sundays, I know that I need to prep certain things for the rest of my week because I know I'm going to have a busy Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think discipline for me really comes down to like preparation,
Mm-hmm.
and also weighing the idea of whether or not is this really going to hurt me? Is this good for me? And will this impact me later on?
Yeah. I think for me, in my younger 20s, I used to say that's a problem for later Abby. Later Abby will deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Now in my late 20s, maybe because my frontal lobe developed or something, who knows? I'm like, no, Abby right now needs to take care of it so I'm not hating myself later on.
Mm-hmm.
I say hating very lightly. I give myself a lot of grace. Because, again, we're only human and we all make mistakes. But I agree with you. I think that one of the things for me is sometimes it's easier for me to stay on my phone instead of like opening up my Bible and reading and spending time with the Lord. I've been guilty of this the past few days. Actually, the past couple weeks, if I'm being completely honest.
But but that's okay. Like, and it's a good practice to have, but it comes back to bringing yourself back into discipline, right? Like, it's not about like we all fall off track. Like, we're freaking human, and I think sometimes it's like there's no excuse if you are disciplined and da 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 da.
Uh-huh.
Life happens, bro. Like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be against the grain on that because the thing is, it's like, first off, the most important, the Lord knows our heart.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be a priority, right? Like, I'm not gonna excuse that, but at the end of the day, like, I do the same thing. Like, what am I to say to you when I'm like,
who is to cast the first stone? Is that thing that I always go back to? But yes, I think giving yourself grace, but also like staying disciplined and knowing,
living in accountability.
Keeping yourself accountable. Like, are you going to thank yourself for what you're harvesting right now, or are you gonna look back on your life and be like, I wish I would have started that sooner?
And I think to start having discipline, you have to really look into your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, like, I can easily personally, like, not necessarily to my friends, but to myself, I can get woe is me. Like, this is my circumstance, and I don't know if I'm ever going to get out of this situation. I can't see how there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And then suddenly it's like, I need to switch that. And your quality of life really does come down sometimes to your perspective, no matter how crummy it is. Like, my family has been going through a lot of health issues, and all of us have been kind of going through some like unfortunate scenarios and events lately in my family, and I rebuke anything else in Jesus' name. But in that, like, there are things that we have all found to be thankful for, whether that's more knowledge of something, or just understanding that we were safe and protected. Like, it sucks, and you're allowed to cry about it, you're allowed to experience your emotions in life, but at the end of the day, like, too, like, I have such a high quality of life because my God is good.
Yes.
And
amen.
Like, I can cry to him about that, and I can be angry at him with that too. Like, we're allowed to come to the Father with all of our emotions, not just our happy emotions.
Yeah. I think that's really important for people to know too, because I think, like, especially when you're new in your faith, sometimes it feels wrong to like be mad and yell at God, which I don't entirely recommend doing that.
But to express yourself to God fully.
But like, he knows your heart. He knows where you're coming from. He knows that you're frustrated with the situation that you're in, and I think that he would rather you come to him than not come at all. Like, come to him as you are. If you're angry, let him know. I mean, he already knows, but let him know what you're thinking. Like, communicate. And I think
it strengthens your relationship with him, even when it's out of anger, because the thing is like, it's still actively
you're
engaging.
Still coming to him. Like, you're not like, it's not in the back of your mind. It's like, no, God, why are you doing it? Like,
and
talking to him.
I think it's so tough too, because it's like, You know, a lot of times people will be like, and I mean, I heard this just the other day. I mean, like, so many people will tell you, like, oh, God will never give you anything that you can't handle. And I think that is the biggest myth in the world. Because the reality is, God will give you things you can't handle so that you don't rely on yourself and make yourself your own God.
Mm-hmm.
But so that then you seek the true God, right? So
Yep.
it's like, so that we then turn back to the Father sometimes. And while it's not his ambition to have us go through pain and hurt, it is his ambition to have us grow in him and
Yeah.
lean on him because he is our Father.
Mm-hmm.
And just in a fatherly relationship is we are supposed to cling to our Father in the sense of help.
Yeah. That burden's not meant to be carried on your own. Give it to God. Like, he's here for a reason.
Mm-hmm. And so, like, I think just like overall, just like when you're really taking the lens and looking at your life and you're thinking about like how much you've fallen into a routine, we all, I think, especially in this day and age, like all we can do sometimes is survive.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like the biggest discipline sometimes is changing your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's really hard to get out of that. Like, it's hard to get out of this negative idea. There have been so many times in my life that I have gone to God and been like, dude, like bawling my eyes out. And I'm literally like, I can't handle this anymore. Like, I am exhausted. I am burning at both ends of the stick. I can't keep up. I literally see no way through this. Like, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah.
I have so much exhaustion. And it's just like that cry of help because it's like there's no way to fix this humanly. There's
Mm-hmm.
no way to solve this. And as somebody who personally is a fixer, when I can't fix something because I think I have control, because I, again, try to take control of things that I don't have control of, I then get humbled very fast to understand that I can't do that. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
I think that, yes, changing your perspective is really important. And then also who you're surrounding yourself with. I think something that I learned at my last job, I think there was a lot of learning there.
Hey, that's okay.
If you're surrounding yourself with negativity, a lot of the times it will consume you.
Mm-hmm.
So who are you surrounding yourself outside of work? Who are you surrounding yourself outside of what you're doing 80% of the day? Like, are you coming home and taking it out on your wife and kids? Like, I really hope not, and I pray not. Who are you coming to? Are you going to the Lord, or are you just like self-serving?
And again, like, we are all human. We all fall short of things.
Yeah.
It's not a shame on you that
Yeah.
you sometimes take it out on others, but it needs to be a reflection within yourself, as we all do, like me included,
Mm-hmm.
that, like, if we're acting that way, that we need to go back and amend for that.
Yeah.
Because
something needs to change.
yeah, like this
If not,
past week,
nothing will.
this past week, I was like on the wrong side of the bed every single day. And the truth is, like, I have been in that routine this week of just like, I'm tired, I'm surviving to go to work. And it's like, again, like I told y'all previously, like, I have a good environment. That's not my problem. I just have so much physical exhaustion and I'm burnt out right now. And at the end of the week, I literally looked at my colleagues and I said, I am so sorry. I have been so grumpy this week. And I was like, this is like not who I usually am. And I'm sorry that you guys have experienced anything from me that wasn't great. Yeah. And they were like, Mac, we love you. Don't worry about it. But like,
Yeah.
I was like, no, I know I was not the nicest. And not, while it wasn't directly to them because I love them very well, sometimes we all get in that habit of like, well, you're an easy person to like do that too. And it's because like you're safe. Like, I don't know how else to explain that. It doesn't give it a right reason to do so. But I think, again, that's just something in a place where we, in weakness, will like, even though sometimes we try so hard to tread lightly in that, like, it just comes out, like, you know?
Yeah, and I will say I think that you're probably one of the better people that I know that is really good at being like, I'm sorry, I was this way. Not everybody's good at that, me included. I will say, like, my last job, I think that I had started becoming, like, the rotten seed of it because I was just, like, for one, exhausted all the time, but then also I felt very, what's the word? Like, I just felt like I was being wronged a lot. And so in that, it turned into like frustration, anger, just like not wanting to be there, but having to be there, and this and that.
Yeah.
But, so yes, give yourself grace in that, but also take a step back and reflect and see if it's really like a situation that you want to continue in. Because like I said, I didn't like the person that I was becoming towards the end of it. I was really hating the person that I was looking back in the mirror waking up to, because I was like, this isn't me, this isn't the heart that I want to have. This, I just feel a lot of like bitterness and just like unsatisfaction with the way that my life was going.
And I think that's very relatable. I think
Yeah.
like that's something that like anybody can really understand, is like there are seasons in our life that we are either forcibly or unforcibly surrounded by people who drain us in different ways, or vice versa, that we're feeding negatively into them.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to self-check. It's really hard to do a reflection of yourself when you are the problem. I mean, I think that is a very normal thing. Nobody wants to be wrong. But also, like, I think if you want to start experiencing genuine happiness with people and yourself, I think it would be a jubilant thing to, like, give that to yourself, and really beneficial to look into things and see where can you afford to make these changes, right? So say you don't have that much time. You really are looking at things and you're like, I only have 5 minutes here and I only have 2 minutes here, and honestly all I'm doing is going in between one place to the other, and that's the reason I have 5 minutes, but it's not really time, right, that you have. Like, but what could you do for yourself? Is that a time that maybe instead of listening to music, you need to be in quiet time for yourself so that you can gather your mind? Like, I know last night I had my music on when I was getting out of a late night job, and I was like feeling so overwhelmed, and then I was like, I just need to turn my music off, and I just really need to be in my mind, like driving, because I was like, I just felt overstimulated. But then I also realized that, like, because this is normally like my comfort is like, oh, let me listen to music while I'm driving. But then I was like, dude, this is not helping me today. Like, I need to be in peace and quiet. And then, like, I was able to really think methodically about some things. And it behooved me to do so. You know?
Behooved.
My mom always uses that word. We call her Honey in my family. And Honey's always like, it would behoove you to do this. It behooved me to do this. And so
It just reminded me of something that Pooh Bear would say or something. I don't know.
I have no idea, but behoove. Behoove.
I like that word.
Yeah.
But yeah, in conclusion, or to circle it back, throw it back now.
That self-reflection is for all of us, I would say. Like, the point being, like, if you find yourself being in a place of like absolute dryness and like struggle and like just fighting to literally get through the day because you're so tired, what is something that you can look into yourself and look into, God bless you, maybe the choices, God bless you,
Gosh.
the choices that you might be making to help you. Maybe you need to change those choices, and not everything is up to our decision, right? Because sometimes some of you are working. I know in the past when I was younger, I had to work 3 jobs to get where I needed to be.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes, like, genuinely the demand of what you're doing is not equivalent to the desires that you have. So please know that, like, where the heart and disposition is in saying that there are situations that are very understandable of why, but what are the things that you can do for yourself in those moments and in those times that would help you in the long run? Yeah. Or what can people who love you and are in your circle do for you? Because it's okay to ask for help.
It is okay. And I think that's something that is really hard for people to do. I know that for me, for the longest time, it was hard for me to like give up things and ask people to help me out, because I always felt like a burden. You're not a burden. You're not a burden to your friends. You're not a burden to the people that really love you. Like, it's okay to ask for help if you need it. And there's no shame in that.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. And so, you know, just as you're starting this week and going into new things, just understand that, like, there are some things that we can change.
Mm-hmm.
And even if nothing is physical, you can start with your prayer life.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's literally just desperately clinging to God and saying, dude, this is the situation I'm in. I literally just need rest. God, give me rest. Like,
Yeah.
and it seems kind of funny to say that, but like, genuinely, like, there were seasons in my life where I can remember I was working so much, and then I was having emotional, like, exhaustion so bad that, like, there was one time I actually remember being at work, and I was actively working, and my head was nodding off over and over, and I kept being like, because I was like, I could get fired. Like, this is not good.
Yeah, falling asleep at work. Yeah, that's.
And this was like a long time ago, but
yeah.
And my client was like, "Are you falling asleep?" And I was like, "No, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And I was so embarrassed. But I
did
couldn't
that a
help
few
it.
times when I would work, like the closing opening shifts. When I worked at the cafe, I would just like, oh my gosh, because you get off so late and then you wake up like
so
early. Those shifts were always hard.
And
but
so just understanding that, like,
it won't always be this way.
No.
It won't. It's a season. It's, what
even
can
when you can't see the end of it.
Even when you can't see the end of it, it is a season. There is a light outside of the tunnel. But what can you be doing for you right now that'll help future you? Is that starting a business? Is that
changing your surroundings of who you're around?
Is that changing your perspective?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things that you could, and I say this knowing that it's hard.
Saying this as people who are doing it firsthand,
yeah,
and having to remind ourselves and having to check ourselves or having to change perspectives consistently.
Yeah.
So,
give it to God. That's my biggest piece of advice. Give it to God.
Yeah.
Give it to Him. Because, again, the burden wasn't meant to be yours alone.
Mm-mm.
So.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us on this episode of Messy Moments. I just wanted to apologize too that we were not able to produce anything last week, but as we are people, we have lives too, and we have things we have to take care of, and that's just the reality of living. And I'm sure there will be a week this summer that, because I'm moving, there will be another week we do not post because I'm tired now. I'll be much more tired.
Oh yeah.
But we're excited to come back to you guys next week, and we just wish you the best, and be blessed this week, and know that you're loved and seen by somebody in the best perfection that we can imagine, which is the Lord. And we just thank you for taking the time to listen to us.
Yep. Taking time out of your day. Go out and be blessed.
Yes. Bye, y'all.
Bye.